Hey, so earlier today I gave my pick for the top five best of the Batman movies, in my opinion. This is going to be the companion video to that, top five worst Batman movies. Again, like I said, with my top five best, this is going to be my personal opinion. It's not going to be definitive or anything. Just, yeah, this is my opinion of which of these five movies are going to, out of the Batman franchise, are going to be the worst. That said, let's get started. And fifth place for me is going to be Joker, released in 2019. Overall, I just did not understand the hype for this movie. Joaquin Phoenix does an okay enough job as the Joker, but to me, he's the most bland and boring version that we have gotten so far. Whether it's Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight, Kieran Monahan from Gotham, like Cesar Romero from The 60 Show, Jack Nicholson from Batman '89, even Jared Leto. I mean, has much more like he's not a good performance, but there's at least something enjoyable in just how loony he is. And there are some scenes with him and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn that work out pretty good. I think it turned out pretty decent. Joaquin Phoenix, it doesn't work for me. It's just, I find his Joker very bland, boring, and for me, the look personally just looks too fancy for a Joker. It looks too fancy and attention grabbing. We recently got revealed that we're going to be getting a sequel that's going to be a musical coming out next year. That's going to be introducing Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Okay, I mean, maybe it'll be better, but I don't know. I could not get into this movie. One thing that has it kind of low on the lower end of the list is overall it is shot beautifully. Joaquin Phoenix does do a very good job of turning in somebody who is very mentally unbalanced. The cast is pretty decent. Visually, it looks fantastic. Got a beautiful score to it and everything. Gotham looks as dreary as ever. For me, I just couldn't get into the plot, so coming in last place. Coming in fourth place for me is going to be The Dark Knight Rises. Now, for me personally, anytime that I watch the Dark Knight trilogy, I always love Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and I dread finishing off with The Dark Knight Rises. Personally, I think this is a very weak end to the Dark Knight trilogy. We're talking about the laughable death scene that we get for Talia al Ghul. That was like, okay, you didn't think to reshoot that like that. That was horrible acting for a main character death in a Christopher Nolan movie. What? Like that was ridiculous on so many levels. Big thing that drops this down for me, and the people I always catch flack for it all the time, is one, I think Anne Hathaway is horribly miscast as Selena Kyle. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but like she just, I don't see Selena Kyle or Catwoman when I see Anne Hathaway playing the role. I see Anne Hathaway playing a role. Like, she does not disappear into the role of Selena Kyle, Catwoman. I just can't buy her. And while I understand what they were trying to go for with Bane, Tom Hardy has a physically demanding and threatening presence. But unless you have one of the world's best sound systems and subtitles turned on, it's damn near impossible to hear a word that he's saying, because his voice is just, like you're Dr. The Dark. I was born in like, I tried watching the movie without subtitles and I had to keep rewinding it. Like, wait, what? Like, dude, what did you just say? Like, huh? It ruins the movie for me. Also, the whole Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Officer Blake, you know, story for how he knew that Bruce Wayne was Batman because of like he was a weird orphan. Okay, yeah, a kid who is a multi-billionaire had his parents brutally murdered in front of him. He's gonna be acting a little weird, dude. I mean, what do you expect? But yeah, that's our number 4. Coming in third place for me is going to be Catwoman. Now, overall, I think the idea of the character of Patience Phillips as a new version of Catwoman is very interesting. And I think Halle Berry was a decent enough choice. But my God, does the CGI for this just look horrible. And it has one of the weirdest and stupidest DC comic movie plots in that we can believe in. That we have gotten in a long time. Like, did you know that one of Catwoman's biggest arch enemies was an evil makeup corporation? Yeah. Oh, and at the end, Sharon Stone ends up getting rock hard skinned because she uses too much makeup cream. Because they know what kind of movie is classy. Coming in second place for me is going to be Batman and Robin. This is a movie that I have a very hard time getting through anytime I do any of my Batman movie marathons because George Clooney is just horribly miscast. He does a decent enough job as Bruce Wayne, but when it comes to Batman, he is probably the least most intimidating. Like I would be much more easily intimidated by the Adam West Batman than I would be by the George Clooney Batman. He does not have an intimidating figure at all, and like the way that he like talks when he's talking to people, it's like, yeah, you sound exactly like Bruce Wayne. Like, how has nobody figured out that you're Bruce Wayne, dude? Like, that makes no sense. Also, I have no idea who this movie was even marketed for, because if it was marketed towards children, then it has way too many shots, up close shots of butts, nipples, crotches, and over sexualized, like plant puns by Poison Ivy, and a plot where Mr. Freeze's wife is dying from a horrible disease, and Alfred is about to die from the same disease. But on the other hand, I don't see any way that this could have possibly been made, for adults, because not only are there the over-sexualized plant puns, pretty much every other line in this movie is a pun, even to the point where they give Batman himself a bat credit card. Yeah, that actually happens. And not only that, Batman actually bids on another human being for his own personal pleasure. And the less said about Alicia Silverstone's Batgirl, the better. But coming in first place for me as far as the worst Batman movie that we have gotten, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And I'm counting the theatrical and Ultimate Edition. The theatrical edition is so choppy and messed up that, like, it's incomprehensible as a movie. Like, there are so many different plot holes that, like, the movie has a hard time making sense. And you get to the Ultimate Edition and they release it as a DVD exclusive and make it R-rated. Meaning that, like, if you're not 17, 18 years old, you gotta wait a few years before you even know the full story of what happened in this movie, because in the theatrical version, they just forget to set up stuff for future movies. And yeah, this movie, the whole Martha scene, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, the god-awful design of Doomsday, this movie just sucks on so many levels. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 5 worst Batman movies are. And just remember, these are our opinions. Have a good day, and happy Batman Day. Bye.